So let's bring this into business. If you think about sales teams, if you have a sales team and you have somebody who is a competitor, they are going to be lit up by wanting to win. They probably will enjoy the sales leaderboards, the Monday morning KPI records, the monthly contest, breaking records, recognition, all of that public celebration of wins. But if you take someone like me, who is an explorer, still a phenomenal salesperson, but the way that they are going to be energized and motivated and devoted is going to be very different. So if you put them or you try to lead them in the same way, it's not going to be the best for either one of them. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about your type of play personality, the book Play by Stuart Brown, and how it actually helps you become a more effective and compassionate leader. So let's dive in. So I've been talking about teaching, advising, advocating for play probably for the last 6 or 7 years, since I have become more of a playful person myself, as I have incorporated more play into my life, where it's not just about the grind and all of that stuff that I was taught growing up. And I highly recommend, I'm not going to go through each play personality. You can go do that on your own. You can go read the book, but I highly recommend reading the book Play by Dr. Stuart Brown. He talks about how play shapes the brain, how it opens your imagination, how it invigorates the soul. And I also think that this is when we play more as founders, I think that is where we connect to our flow. And we also are able to get so many different insights. And I think we are also able to be a better leader and founder for our team and for our employees. So the awareness that I had the other day is my daughter recently has started playing volleyball, and she is definitely one of the play personalities that Dr. Stuart Brown talks about is the competitor. That is someone who genuinely enjoys competing, like the fun and the joy of winning, of keeping score, of beating someone else is actually a form of play for them. That is my daughter to a T, 100%. If you ask me, I could care less about winning. Like when we play badminton outside, or we play volleyball with her, or any other sport that I play, I don't even care about the score. I just want to know, are we having fun? Am I having fun? And is this an enjoyable experience? For me, actually, when someone is competitive and they start getting upset and all of that, like for me, that actually, I don't want to say takes the fun out of it, but that's just not a joyful thing for me. So the awareness that I had was, oh, that's how she likes to play. And I am more of the play personality of a kinesthete, or I think it's also an explorer, right? As an explorer, I love to travel. I love to move through time and space. I love to meet different people. Like that is one of the ways that I play. The kinesthete is more someone who loves to move their body. So I get genuine satisfaction of riding my bike, of surfing, of e-foiling, of kayaking or stand-up paddling. Like I love to move myself through time and space. It's where I get some of my most creative ideas. And when I don't do that enough, I notice where my creativity kind of wanes. So recognizing, if you get the book, you read the book, recognizing what is your play personality, and are you actually playing in the way that is best for you, is in alignment for you. I think that there are two parts that I want to kind of mention here on the podcast. The first part is when you recognize what your play personality is, you will start to see how much we have kind of been forced into a different way of playing. I think we look outside of ourselves, we see people on Instagram, we see people doing certain things, some of our friends, and we're like, oh, I want to go do that. Or I should do that, or I should like to do that. Like pickleball is a huge thing. I have no desire to play pickleball. That doesn't mean that that's not correct for somebody else. It's just not one of my favorite ways to play. I thought that I would like a hip hop class, so I took private lessons for a while. Recognized I would much rather spend my time on the water than I would dancing It's not a problem. It's not that hip hop is bad and I don't like it, or it's not for everyone else. It's just not for me. And so I think first and foremost, we have to allow ourselves to play with the idea of play. Don't be so serious about finding out what is your number one play personality, and also what are the ways that you actually like to play. I think somewhere along the way, we were taught and told that play was like for kids. Adults don't do that. We don't have time for that. And so we kind of dimmed our light and got smaller. And, when I first got started, I had to think about like, what are the things that I actually like to do? What did I do as a kid? So when you read the book and you figure out, okay, what is your play personality? Stop judging that it doesn't look like your business bestie, or stop judging that it doesn't look like the way that your husband's, loves to play. That's first and foremost. And I think also the biggest theme here, the umbrella that I want to bring home, is understanding how your team likes to play, because every employee or team member is very different than another. I think this kind of ties into as well as understanding your human design and also understanding their human design, because you can support them to their fullest when you understand what their human design is and yours, as well as their play personality. I think about this from like if you've got a sales team. If you have someone who is a competitor, like my daughter, who loves to win, they're probably going to be super motivated by KPIs and games, or like, competition, winning, like leaderboard and all of that kind of stuff that competitors love to measure against. And this doesn't mean that because you have someone who isn't a competitor that they won't be good at sales. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the way that that they are going to be motivated or more devoted, I like that word better than motivated. The way that they're going to be devoted to their craft is going to be very different. So let's bring this into business. If you think about sales teams, if you have a sales team and you have somebody who is a competitor, they are going to be lit up by wanting to win. They probably will enjoy, the sales leaderboards, the Monday morning KPI records, the monthly contest, breaking records, recognition, all of that public celebration of wins. And if they, come in second place, they are going to be thinking about, okay, how can I get to be number one? Because that is their true natural nature and enjoyment of playing. Like, it is competition for a competitor type of play personality is energizing to them. It's not draining. But if you take someone like me, who is an explorer, still a phenomenal salesperson, but the way that they are going to be energized and motivated and devoted is going to be very different. Like, they're going to get energized from meeting new people, from learning maybe and exploring about the different industries, for talking and traveling and to the clients, solving different problems, right? Discovering different opportunities, being given autonomy. So if you put them, or you try to lead them in the same way, it's not going to be the best for either one of them, right? Because if you are trying to lead everybody in the same way, one of them is going to feel great, because if you're leading from that competitiveness, right? I think a lot of times, I think back to like my financial planning days, and we used to have like Monday morning meetings, and it's like, can I just skip that? Like, I do not care about what anybody else's numbers are. I don't care. And so you really have to, I think, understanding the way that your team is, the way that your team moves. So if you did have somebody who was a competitor and you did have someone who was an explorer, you're going to coach them, you're going to advise them, you're going to motivate them in very different ways. You're going to have different conversations with them about that. I remember when I was, working with a client, and I just asked her, I said, ask your team, what does sales mean to you? And I had her do some journal exercises with her team. And it was fascinating to hear. You could just pick out the ones that were like more competitive in nature and the ones that were more so relationship based. And that drive was for them was very different. And so you have to really understand your employees. You have to care enough to understand what motivates, what drives them, because we're all driven by different things. And so when you understand that, you can lead them, you can teach them, you can advise them in very different ways that will allow you to get what you want and also allow them to have what they want as well. It's just going to be coming at it from a very different perspective. I think the other thing here that you have to really remember too is if you put a competitor with maybe someone who doesn't like to play that way, there might be friction. So really recognizing what are the tendencies that and I'm just using this as an example, my sales team, but what are the tendencies of those people? Because in order to support your employees, understanding who they are as a person, understanding their human design, understanding their play personality will allow you to support them and put them and pair them, if you are pairing them up or, even training. I think about this. I was working with a client. We were talking about training. If you have someone that doesn't have any desire to train, putting them in a place where they have to train is not helpful to them, and it's not helpful to your new employees. So you really have to ponder and contemplate, okay, what are my employees' strengths? What do they love to do? And are they in the correct position in my organization? So I highly recommend go get the book Play by Stuart Brown. Read it. First and foremost, I always say, take it into you first, right? Before you start to teach this to your team, go take it and go embody this work for yourself. What is your play personality? Go play with that. Go figure out what that is for you. And are you playing enough in your life? Are you allowing enough creativeness, enjoyment, joy throughout your day and your week, or are you all about business all of the time? So first and foremost, do this for yourself, understand for yourself first, and then go take it out towards your team. I think the best thing that we can do for ourselves, for our team, for our business, for our families is to be lit up first. So figure out what your play personality is, then play with it, go enjoy yourself, have fun. So go buy the book, go read the book, embody this work first, figure out what your play personality is, or personalities, I should say, right? I'm kinesthete and explorer, and recognize what is it that is the best thing to support you and how you like to play, because that is where all of our creative ideas come from. And then you can take that to your team. Okay, I'll see you in the next episode.